What is your name, what are your pronouns, and what are you going to talk about today?
My name is Alex Markey, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be talking about my asexuality today.
Could you give us an Asexuality 101?
Asexuality is when you look at someone and you're like romantically attracted to them, but you're not really bothered about the sexual part at all, really.
So could you please give us a brief description of what being asexual means to you personally?
Asexual means to me that, well, I'm in a relationship. I'm in a relationship. I'm completely fine with romance and all that stuff. I acknowledge that sexual stuff is there. I mainly joke about it, but I don't personally feel it. So it's mostly just a joking point for me to mess with people. My parents especially, they want you to be happy. They see all this online stuff as like you're putting labels on so people can understand, but if you put a label on, they don't think you can take it off and like change it, or like they don't think you should label yourself at all, really. That was what I got from my parents, but like labels are nice because then people know what to do with you, they know what to expect. And no, it's not permanent. You can always take it off, and like if someone's got it wrong, you can correct them. It's like it's nice to have just kind of to be understood more, so you don't have to explain yourself every time. You can just be like, I'm asexual, done.
How did being asexual affect you growing up?
Mostly through parents disagreeing and me forcing anyways. And then it was mostly just confusing times where it's just like friends are doing this stuff, I go look up porn, and then I get just actually into the actual story, not the actual porn. It's mostly just like looking into the actual, going to try and see if it actually is this stuff, and then being like, oh, okay, that doesn't work. Oh, okay, what's this mean? And then eventually got to the asexual part.
Have you felt marginalised or stereotyped due to being asexual?
I've been kind of told that I wasn't by my parents a lot, but other than that, not really marginalised. It's probably just like, oh no, you can't be sexual because you say you're asexual, but I'm pretty fine being in there.
Have you been marginalised or stereotyped at the university, or have you felt quite accepted?
I've not really done much with the university, so it probably is. I haven't heard anything about the LGBT thing, but that's fine. I've been in the LGBT club before, it was quite good. Well, one was quite good, the other one didn't really do much, so maybe not everyone at the moment is fine. I'm a bit like socially awkward, but I try to make up for it, so it's normally me trying to think of topics, but if I get asked questions and stuff, then I know what to talk about, then yeah, go for it.
Could you do some myth busting about stereotypes surrounding asexuality?
Myth number 1. All asexuals are repulsed by sex so much they don't even want to talk about it.
All asexuals aren't just icky and all that stuff. Like, I joke about sexuality. I normally make my friends uncomfortable when they're into that stuff. That's the kind of levels asexuals can get to. Obviously, there's asexuals who just be like, no, I don't like sex at all. Stop talking about it. Like, at a point, it gets to a point where they become uncomfortable. Even I can get to that point. But it's not just, sex, stop talking about it, period. There's like different parts on the spectrum. So you can either be like, I don't like sex at all, don't talk about it or anything. Or you can be like, I don't want to have sex, but I'm still going to joke about it.
Myth number 2. Asexuals aren't accepted within the LGBTQ plus community.
I haven't really been I'm not really a social media person. I grew up being like, seeing about it, seeing how hostile people are on it, and I just went on Xbox and that was it. And then I went on Facebook. So I'm probably not the best to experience all that stuff, but from what I've seen, it's mostly being accepted by the community. It's mostly about like kind of just getting help to express yourself. But if you're not accepted by the community, who kind of cares? Because you can just still express yourself. I'm dressed up as a bloody plague doctor. People don't like it. What are they going to do about it? Just do what makes you happy and go for it.
Myth number 3. You just haven't found the right person yet.
I mean, I'm dating a girl at the moment, and she has bloody F cup. So if I was to find someone for sexual stuff, but no, still not. I mean, I've gone through all the stuff. I've tried masturbation. I've gone through porn, Google searches, nothing really. So I think I've kind of cleaned it up, and yeah, I don't think there's any plot holes in it.
Myth number 4. Asexuals can't be in a relationship.
Yeah, you can still have a relationship. It just doesn't. You just don't have to have sex. Or if you still want children, adoption. Like, you can still have children and all that stuff. You just got to be happy with someone else doing it. Or technically, you could, if you're fine with masturbation, you could masturbate and then do that thing where they just put the sperm into the woman. So mark around.
How could the people around you and the university do better?
Well, first of all, LGBT club would be quite nice. Like the one that I had in my secondary was quite fun because it wasn't completely relaxed. So we were still trying to do stuff around the school, but it was pretty relaxed. So like we had some people who literally just came there just to talk and stuff. Like we're fine with supporters, we're fine with people going there just to talk about stuff, but we still want to do stuff to help other people out around the place. So I think something like that would be quite nice, where it's not like completely serious. It's like you come in, it's like, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing next week? What are we going to do now? It's just like, no, you can just come in, talk about stuff, maybe go about doing some stuff like that. Me personally, I'm quite outgoing, even though I'm an introvert. So I'm fine with questions. I'm fine with the joke. I've heard all of it. So I'm completely fine with them just being like, oh, I'm asexual. Just be like, how does that work? Just like, I'll answer away, have a nice little joke about it. Other people might be more sensitive about it, so be careful about that. Maybe don't start off with all the jokes and stuff. Don't be like straight into that. Just be like, oh, okay, how's that work? And all that stuff, just so, and then maybe ask if they're fine with it, and then do it.
So how do you feel the media represents asexuality?
Well, I'm not really, as I said before, I'm not really into social media, but from what I've seen, it seems to be quite good with like the acceptance and all that stuff. Obviously, it's not as big as like the more active ones like bisexuality, but that makes sense because there's more bisexual people, so there's going to be more people doing stuff about it. But from what I've seen, yeah, it's quite good. Obviously, I'm not the best source for that, especially like people online. They don't really seem. Obviously, you can have like a few jokers around there, but you just don't shut up because it's online stuff. I mean, representation in that would be quite nice, kind of like because people like to represent themselves in like characters. Like, because I saw this thing online of this girl growing up really liked Hermione from Harry Potter, so she grew up going in her example and actually got really good because Hermione was a really good student and all that stuff. So like having a character you can relate to in a show would be quite nice. It's just like don't go like too fast and like, oh, they're an asexual who likes women and all that stuff. Just like kind of make it a bit broad so it's not just like you're trying to relate to like one person, and just don't like focus on trying to make it so it can relate to people more than actually the character being good. Because then it just kind of becomes like what a joke character is. It's like they only make jokes. Make it kind of their own character, but if they can relate to people, try and make them more like comfortable and stuff, then like do it.
Is there anything else you would like to say or anything you want anyone to know about asexuality?
Asexuality, there's different types of asexuality that I know about. There's grey asexuality, which I'm pretty sure is asexuality, but you're only attracted like sexually to someone you really know. So like, say it's someone you've been dating for like a few years. You're not really into sexual stuff, but if it's with that certain person, then you're okay with it maybe like within your own boundaries. So like there's different types of it, and it can also evolve. So obviously if you're asexual like in your 18s, so like I'm 18 right now, further down the line in maybe from my 30s or maybe even my 20s, like 25, that could change obviously because your hormones change, your brain changes. So like you could be like, actually no, I really do like women. So like it can change. It's not just like you just stick it on and you're just like, nah, you don't like sex, go away. It's like it can change. You don't need to just be like, I don't want sex, period. You can open up to it.